Hey guys, it's me T coming at you with a random reading because I wanted to have a random. I'm so sorry. I'm like really dry because the weather has it's been so cold here where I live, and then it gets super fucking hot today and I'm like, "Bro, I'm like hot." So anyhow, so sorry. Like it's just going to be an off type of whatever off type of video to be super fucking on point, bitches. um but basically I wanted a random reading or random talk rather, to be under my belt today for some reason, because there's just like a lot coming up, so much like swirling with this like storm coming in or whatever in regards to where I live. And so, which is in Florida. So by the way, what was I gonna say? Yeah, you hear that shit? That's like a lot. So I am like just chilling, having some tea. This is super tea time with tea. And what I wanted to say here was like I'm like on my phone, and oh, I hope shit. I'm so sorry. I like the way that I hold my phone covers my mic, so I hopefully you heard all of that. But if you didn't, you fucking didn't. Whatever. Um. So so what I wanted to say here was there's like a couple of things. So like I'm on my phone and like I come across somebody I just love how I am not holding back with my communication anymore, and I fucking love it. Like there was something in me that like freed me the fuck up. Um but there was basically somebody like on what's it called? On a social media platform that I reached out to, and like I just simply was like being me, right? Like I was simply like being like fucking cordial, and like there was nothing hidden behind it. It was like very direct. I'm always very direct pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Um and so long story short, one dude like fucking like basically told me the obvious step one to like where to go, what to do, because I was like asking for advice. And he was like, wouldn't it be obvious, whatever, you know, when you can sense a fucking tone out of somebody that's being super fucking arrogant, like he's like a know-it-all trying to tell you that you're like fucking dumb. And I was like, okay. And I'm not gonna tell you, but like, okay, so long story, I'm laughing because actually, and I see a picture of my dad on the refrigerator laughing too, because like I literally was like super direct about like how I felt about that fucking comment. With whatever, and I was like laughing to myself because it was like, stop doing like, and that's the thing. It's like, control your fucking tone, dude. And I think there has to be something to be said about that, because even though I've learned a long time ago, T, it's about the message, it's not about the tone. I'm letting you know right now, there are people out there where their love language is words of affirmation, and they're a singer, and they're all about fucking tones and sounds and fucking just, you know, words. And, you know, like it's no mistake that like people turn to music to really like heal themselves through not only sound, but through the words, like in regards to like what the lyrics are. You know what I'm saying? So when you're expressing yourself and you are like literally putting your energy and efforts, your own energy and efforts into like either expressing yourself through writing or through speaking. Writing takes a lot, by the way. Like people don't realize writing takes a super like lot to like fucking just write. So if you're gonna write, be fucking respectful. Like there's really nothing, like if I didn't come at you, if there's like nothing, like my whole thing is it's like, and even if you're feeling positive vibes off of somebody that you're like hating on, like who is this bitch who, like, you know, like, because sometimes that is the truth. Like you might not be doing shit at all, but your high vibes tend to kind of like attract these people that want to bring your vibes down. And it's so stupid, but at the same time, like I am not a person that tolerates that shit. So I like, and like the whole thing is I've learned to tolerate it because of the fact that I'm just so used to it. You know what I'm saying? But when it's easy for me to fucking like just strike back, like I actually super fucking will, and I'm grateful to do so because I never was that way. Like growing up, I was always like timid. I was like always like scared to hurt somebody's feelings, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm gonna fucking like, if anything, and I'm not even afraid to say this, if somebody causes me pain, and I'm so fucking, I try to be so thoughtful in terms of like designing the way that I express myself to where it's not like so extreme, because I know that I can be a very like blunt darted type of person, and I know that like a lot of the time, but like here's the thing, I know I don't come from my pain side at all. And I think that's what freed me up recently, knowing that, like, when I express myself, it's literally not out of pain, even if I'm in pain. Do you get what I'm saying? It's more so like, hey, this is what I discovered. We're just gonna fucking maneuver. That's it. Like, this is just like how it is. You know what I'm saying? And it could cause other people pain. I understand that, but eventually we all get over the hump of our of the pain that somebody else caused us, or we caused ourselves by being in complete fucking denial at first and foremost, and then like not making, not pivoting fast enough. And so the whole thing, and then people like want to hate on you because you do have the capability of pivoting fast enough. It's another positive thing that people don't fucking realize, that like, I mean, they do realize, but that's another reason why people hate on, I'm gonna say, like, people who look like they have it easier. But just like in the interview that I saw with Cat Williams, he said there is no person here on this earth that doesn't have fear. Every person goes through that same fucking shit. It's just a person, the difference is between a person that allows fear to hold them back, or literally doesn't allow fear to hold them back, right? Like, you sense the fear, you're like fearful in the fucking moment, but at the same time you're fucking trying to sideswipe that fear out of your path, so that you can kind of like ignore the fuck out of it, or what I like to say lately is starve it, and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to really just highlight the aspect of when people talk to you, or when people decide to talk, because you can decide not to talk too. When people decide to talk, it needs to come from like a place of which you are not fucking offended, a place where you're not like over trying to over smarten somebody, like trying to like out wisdom somebody, like basically ego, just like just be, like just fucking be like it, because it takes a lot out of somebody also to be in a position of like Mars mode is what just came through, which is like fight mode. Like, why would like, unless you're like out to like fucking just strike at somebody, I get why you would be in fight mode, but like, why? You have to in the next, here's the thing. When you operate, and when every human operates, and I've seen this big time in waitresses, dude, they have such a bounce back that you would not even like, the good waitresses, obviously there's like bad and everything, right? Or the negatively low vibes and everything. Let me just see something real quick. Okay. Um, but the whole thing is, it's like, I've seen that shit in waitresses where they would be like dealing with a whole bunch of fucking, excuse me, energy and family and ruckus and like all this shit, and they would like take the next table like right after, and I'd be like, oh my god, that's like a lot. Like, they take a lot, in regards to just having to reset, like a reset, but quick reset, right? To where they have to kind of show up and be customer service. Like, there's a lot going on out there. Customer service, like they have to reset themselves very quickly, to have to kind of come from a well-meaning and well-intentioned customer service like scenario. Like it's not like you're gonna, oh, this guy in this family or in this table treated me like shit, now I'm gonna like go take it out on the other table. No, you just reset like as if nothing fucking happened. And that is key to this life, is like each and every moment you reset, 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 reset. It's like, it's not about like, oh, what happened. It's about, no, start over again, start over. It's every moment you have that opportunity to start over again, to just kind of get and especially guys, like if a guy is a dick to me, dude, for no fucking reason, I know for a fact that your fucking mind actually works in a compartmentalized fucking structure. So you best believe that your fucking your fucking communication towards me makes like no fucking sense in you fucking behaving like that, but I know double time so that that's exactly what you meant, like in that split second or like whatever. So that's also what I have to say about like guys in terms of their tone. Like, you know what you're doing double time. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm just like here to like basically be in my own peace, and hated for being in my own peace, but also what was I gonna say? And not, you're not even being grateful, by the way, that I exude that peace too. Okay, it doesn't just like stick around me. It's like, no, that shit ripples effect out. It ripple effects out into this world. So the whole thing is, I'm hated for being in my own peace, and then I'm also hated for being high vibed, and then I'm also hated for fucking dealing with people that want to take shit out on me when I didn't even fucking do anything to them. And I just literally approach them with the aspect of, here's what needs to be done, right? And again, guys are all about action, and here's what needs to be done. So the whole thing is, it's like, like there really should. And when I speak about action, by the way, like I don't actually do it in a mean way, like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do. No, everybody has fucking free will around me. You want to fucking cooperate, great. You don't want to cooperate, great. The world is going to work with or without you. I don't give a shit. I don't rely on anybody. I could do everything myself. But obviously, if you are in a household of, whether whether it be just roommates, whether it be just like family members, you are essentially a part of a working like household where it's like everybody's there to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't like not think that you're gonna get away with doing nothing. Look at this little baby girl. Oh my goodness! I see how small her head is when I'm filming. I see how small her head is when I'm filming. Yeah, man. So the whole thing is, oh my god, how sweet. She's like, her face is like a quarter of my face. Anyhow, she's my sweetheart. So what was I gonna say? So I don't really squeeze her that hard. I just like quench her. I just like, yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so basically that's what I wanted to say. It's like, yo, it's time now that we, and by the way, I'm going to insert like a piece of information that I learned from a comedian, of which we should all be fucking learning from comedians, because they know shit, that they discover shit, they know shit, they discover shit. It doesn't fucking matter. They're on point with a whole lot of life's truths, right? And they come up with really good solutions to different things where literally like one of the comedians that I ran into, her and her husband, she said that whenever they have an issue of like, being like snarky to one another or whatever, like, when they're like pissed off or whatever and they want to take something out on each other, they would always say tone, like watch your fucking tone, but without saying watch your fucking tone, be like tone, like I felt that, but, and I didn't really need to, hold on one second, because I'm trying to fucking, hold on guys, she's trying to get comfortable. I told her no. but you can't I'm gonna fucking squeeze the shit out of her. I just love her so much. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, so they would always say sorry, and I'm like holding the phone weird, but I don't give a fuck. Like it's one of those things like I really can't deal with like perfection anymore, honestly. So um which by the way, like I love perfection, but also there is so much fun in imperfection. You know what I'm saying? So I rather embrace that side, and when perfection decides to fucking come around, great. If not, I don't give a fuck. Um, and so long story short, this dog is so antsy right now, but it's the way of the weather. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the weather is so fucking spinsies. I was even just saying that the weather is doing its zoomies today, which it doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna just say that the weather is fucking happy as fuck. Um, we got fruit flies in the house. All right. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to say there is that you can use that technique when somebody speaks to you. That's actually it could work either, you know, over social media and or apps and or text or in person, you know, like tone, like check it, dude. Check them bitches when they fucking start talking in a certain way towards you as if like you're striking like you're striking God down in like the most worst way, and you're just like, dude, you're just being you. That's it. Like you're fucking being you, and you're being so hated. And so the only thing that you could really turn around and do is just like laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just transmute that and you turn it into a comedy written joke. You know, you write that shit down, you get out of your system, and you know, that's what I do a lot of the times. But also I'm like not saving the comedy anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying I'm actually like creating this like comedy show of a life, instead of like, oh, an hour of stand-up comedy. It's like, no, I'm gonna enjoy this comedy show of life by literally just, you know, speaking up, like, you know. And that's one of those things. By the way, I did learn that speaking up is a trait of leaders, which, or leadership rather, which, you know, I'm so grateful for, because that is absolutely so me. Like that is such, like I'm a natural born leader. This is Capricorn season where you're gonna, you know, you're gonna take the lead on a lot of things. You're gonna be responsible for a lot of things. And you know, you're gonna be self-motivated, you're gonna be all those things. And you know, so you're gonna have to stand up for yourself to these people that are, you know, that come across really arrogant, really nasty. They feel like they could tell you fucking anything. They feel like they could tell you off for like nothing at all. And it's just, you know, and I'm grateful for the message, don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful for the message. I'm always grateful for the messenger and the message in and of itself. But I think it's time to really evolve at this point, to be like, you know, like get rid, like today is garbage and trash takeout day in my city, in my town. And the whole thing is, what we're doing today, and I'm putting out there today, is that you're going to get rid of your fucking nasty ass tone that you think that you could have with people any which way, anywhere you go, that type of thing. When really people don't realize that they can be thinking that they're dealing with, let's say, oh, I'm dealing with a female, for instance, that, you know, females usually don't fucking talk back. But you turn to me and say some shit like that, you're gonna feel a whole lot of pain through possibly embarrassment, but and or embarrassment that will cause a lot of pain, either or. Like it's, so the whole thing is, it's like, because I'm trained, I'm a very well trained female that has grown up in such an egotistic household, but yet has meditated the shit out of everything. Do you get what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, I already come reset, you know. And I already, and my evolution came from, I didn't have a comeback for anything when I was younger, and now I'm like spitfire and comebacks no problem, you know what I'm saying? And it's just basically the truth of the matter. You're just like, dude, like, let me just replay back what the fuck just happened. And it's so funny because this morning I'm like cleaning out the fridge, because that's a Tina tip. Whenever it's fucking garbage day, garbage morning, whatever, you do it the night before, the morning of, you get rid of the nasty, old stuff, decrepit stuff in your refrigerator. Okay. So the whole thing is, you do that. And so I was doing that today, and my mom said something like, you you did this, like, because I have to get my mom's approval because she freaks out over everything, even though the decisions that she makes uh, um are not up to par. But whatever, we try our best. But because I could be a total fucking bitch, but honestly it takes so much out of me. And plus, I'm not living alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're living alone, you can do things your own way. When you're living with other people, you have to kind of not let shit slide, because honestly, I'm not even one to do that either. But sometimes you have the energy for it, sometimes you don't. But like my mom would say, she tried to like put me in a position of where I was in the wrong. And I'm like, no, 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 this is exactly what happened. Where, it was like this, and I said this, and then you said this. And so the whole thing is, it's like, again, tone even can come in the way that you try to like manipulate another person to think that they're fucking wrong. And again, I know I'm dealing with ego. I know that ego is weaker than me. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that because it's so super simple to put it in that sense, and I'm so grateful to even fucking voice that shit out there, because I know, and I shouldn't say I know, but like, you can tell the difference between those that meditate and those that don't. Like, when they meditate, they're like, they take out their emotional garbage, whether it's through creativity or geniusness or meditation, or whatever have you, just like an enjoyable life. You can tell that energy, you know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, an organization, huge. If you're an organizer, don't fucking mess with them. They try to organize the shit out of everything. That's their creativity. It's practical creativity. It's like they fucking, the way that they, and like I said before, I design the things that I fucking say. I like do everything to try to make things as most optimal and most easier and leveraged and smart type of way, like a genius, like a genius would, or like a fucking, creative, highly creative person would, or like a highly thoughtful person would, or a high emotional IQ person would do. And so the whole thing is, it's like, you do not mess with a person that has a solid foundation in the knowledge of organization. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? And because sometimes because they know the truth of the matter. You have to know a lot of truth when you're actually a great organizer. You have to figure out, I said this in a very recent video, you have to figure out spatially wise what's going to fit, what makes sense in certain systems. You are very easy to, what is it called, when you're able to streamline shit. Thank you, that's what I'm trying to say. And like, the whole thing is, it's like, you don't mess with people like that, because like, there's no way that their skill does not exude in them, like within them, like, or exist within them, you know what I'm saying? Like, it comes from the inside. So the whole thing is like, so it's like, so she tried to like tell me I was like, I was wrong about something that happened. I'm like, no, bitch, like, I have fucking, and I know I just called my mom a bitch, but she actually is one for no fucking reason, when I'm the bigger bitch that actually is one for a certain reason, and knows when and when not to be one, you know what I'm saying? But she brings out the bitch in me all the time, and then there's a fight, and it's like a bigger fucking deal than it has to be. And in my eyes, I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude, anymore. Like, I really no longer give a shit. It's one of those things, like, if you call on it, you're gonna get it. It's you dialed the motherfucking telephone number, you're gonna get that fucking person to answer the fucking call. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. And sometimes, I mean, I know for a fact that like she uses me to argue because there's no one else that she can argue with. Everybody else she has to be nice with because just that's how people pleasers are. But I don't take that shit either. So, that's what it's coming back around, is that when you speak to somebody, you don't know who you are assuming that who's going to take a lot of shit from you and who's not going to be able to take a lot of shit from you. Do you get what I'm saying? Or some people just don't care. But at the same time, I'm letting you know that if you are a person that doesn't care, by the way, I'm just gonna, do I mention it? Yeah, I don't know why I just thought of Sandy Hook. So I just really, that has been coming through commercials too, which is so interesting. I just want to really bless all of those souls that are hurting right now in regards to, I mean, always, I have always, ever since it happened. But Sandy Hook energy is really coming through lately. So I just want to just put it out there that I'm very, like, I'm thinking about you guys, and I'm literally blessing your situation, because there might be something that's coming back around that really is maybe hurtful or painful, or I don't know, like there's something's going on with that. I don't know what it is, but I do extremely want to say, just hang in there, because it's super, like what they went through as parents and as guardians, and just as a clan, as a village, as a city. Like, dude, but the reason why I thought of that, I think, is because the whole being able, like, all these people that think that they can take something out on somebody else, to where they think that they're dealing with victims, but really they could be dealing with people who are able to wipe them out in one shot, like literally, like, so, like kind of like speed demons or like superheroes, like where it's like, if you're a person, so there's extremes to it. I'm just talking about the simplicity of it. Like, you make fun of me, I'm gonna make fun of you, whatever. But you also don't realize, like, you make fun of somebody, like, who's gonna go off and do something treacherous to themselves or treacherous to other people. And so when I say that I'm in my peace, there's a ripple effect to that. When you are also talking to somebody in a negative tone or a negative way, and maybe they're dealing with the lowest of the low, like they can't fucking handle shit anymore, that too has a ripple effect, not only at them or within them, but it's like it can exude out into a larger, like, what's it called, scenario that no one should ever fucking experience, because of somebody that can't fucking control themselves, you know what I'm saying, any longer, let's say. So we need to, I think that that's also what's coming through, is like, we need to learn to stop, to control ourselves more, especially in Capricorn season. Capricorn season where you're gonna be called to control yourself, to have self-control. Thank you. That's what's coming through clearly. And to literally apply that towards your communication, in regards to wherever the communication is happening, whether it's verbally to somebody, over the phone, over the internet, same everywhere. The respect needs to go everywhere at the same place, like whatever form of communication you're wanting to use, the tone needs to be respectful at all fucking times, unless you can literally say, I'm pissed off right now and here's why, and list it, right? Like, but don't have that behind the scenes, like, non-integrity form of, like, type of what's it called, type of style of talking, because it's so disgusting. Like, it's such a disgusting energy. Like, for instance, if you were like going through something and you're like in your own fucking head, and somebody's talking to you and you can't seem to manage it, right? You don't need to lash out at that other person. You just need to let them know about what's going on internally within yourself, to be like, listen, I'm going through something right now. I can't handle this. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to start, and that's how to fix the tonnage, is to get super fucking vulnerable, to basically be like, yo, I want to come at this bitch with a fucking tone, or I want to come at this dick with a tone, but I need to either have self control, but self control can pop off like, dude, you can only swallow so much, right? So either self control is one of your options, and or you just being vulnerable. And sometimes with me, I'm a Capricorn. I think I've come to the like, but I think always been pretty vulnerable in terms of just like speaking from my heart. So the whole, and so I don't have to deal with swallowing a lot of bullshit all the time. And if I have to swallow a lot of bullshit, like, I meditate that shit out, but I pick and choose what bullshit I'm willing to fucking swallow and which ones I'm not. Do you know what I'm saying? And as you grow older, you're able to sift also as an organizer. You're able to sift between what you're not willing to hold on to anymore as a person that is willing to take a whole bunch of bullshit, and or like which type of bullshit you're willing to take on, and whose bullshit you're willing to take on. Do you get what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like sometimes there is that. So instead of swallowing a lot of bullshit, you have to start being vulnerable and expressing like, where are you at right now, and I can't really talk to you in this split second. And or, I think the moon is in Sagittarius, where you get to just walk the fuck away, dude. Easy. It's so easy. Like, oh, you can't handle somebody's fucking tone, or somebody's playing music and they're being happy. Oh, you can't handle that. Walk the fuck away. Go for a walk. If you don't have your own space, go for a walk. Go, in your car. Go outside and just be in nature. Sit in a fucking chair outside. Like, you don't have to be around people that you actually think are stupid, or you don't like, or they're annoying you, or whatever. Like, go be in your literal peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, go do that shit. um Sorry, I'm like, uh I'm like trying to fix my I'm trying to fix my hair that can't be fixable right now, because it's just not happening. I don't know what made me fucking want to transition my hair, eh, like, at all. I don't know. I'm just like petting myself, I think. Nurturing myself. But what else? Hold on. Wait, I gotta just take a sip of my tea. Man, that fan is kind of annoying, huh? But it is what it is. Um, yeah, so my whole thing is, when it comes down to it, definitely, just, I mean, it is what I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? What else? I don't know, why I'm seeing like aloha vibes, but it's like aloha. It's so aloha vibes are peacefulness. Um, Shalom is also peace. Oh, what did I want? Okay, this is so interesting. So aloha means peace, shalom means peace. The card that I got for today, which is also for myself and everybody, mediumship wise, is I am not dead yet. And the the image is a dove flying in the sky. And um I I think that translates into what I was just saying before too, about, like, about how, first and foremost, you know people think that they're dealing with unconscious people, like in regards to they can just say anything and no one's going to say something back because that's kind of the usual. Like you're dealing with a quote unquote dead person. You know what I'm saying? Like those that just like would shut the fuck up and take it and, take all the bullshittery and just, be nice and not, be a people pleaser, not say anything and just be depicted as nice, right? So I am not dead yet also translates into I am an alive woman, human being, which means that I might be amongst the people in terms of, just being a human being. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, I am on in regards to living this life in the moment and also dealing with my own shit whenever it comes up. So like dealing with handling problems, finding solutions. Like I'm a living, like I'm an on being, even though sometimes I'm burnt out by it and I come off super dead or super, like sometimes also people think that like peaceful people, oh, that's another one. Peaceful people are like kind and they're never going to say anything because they're just going to want to always be in their peace. But it's like, no, there are those that also, that's what I meant to say before, that love to be in their Buddha peacefulness, but also are able to be Goddess Kali where they take no shit. You know what I'm saying? So they're kind and they're peaceful, or they're kind and peaceful in their Buddha-ness, like just by being. And then there's the like, and you're just kind of being like neutral. You know what I'm saying at that point? But then there are those that like you're going from neutral to fucking 60 in a split second that people don't even fucking see. Um, Faster than a car, baby, faster than a car, where it's like, oh, you get the whiplash, and then that's when the pain is like, oh shit. Person goes into shock and is like, what the fuck happened here? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, dude, you should not have brought that toxicity up. It's about being, don't bring more toxicity upon toxicity, like, or upon a realness. Like you don't bring toxicity upon realness and then try to think that you're overpowering a situation, like you have the upper hand. You can't do that. It won't negate it. And I can tell you that right now. Energetically, it cannot negate it. You know what I'm saying? Because realness and rawness, there's a super big positivity to it, even if it's being negative. Like authenticity, even in the real and raw, is a positivity people don't realize. So if you're misconstruing a situation and like are trying to put out the fire, so to speak, on a quote unquote toxic person that you don't like to like even like listen to, or you can't listen to at that moment because you're going through your own shit, you literally need to be vulnerable to be able to put out that fire, to be like, not right now, can we like not do this right now? Like even if you're not even, don't even say not right now, just, I think the best thing to do is just like walk away, and or text a person being like, listen, I have to walk away. Like after you walk away, text person, you say like, listen, I'm sorry, I heard you, but like I can't do this right now, we're gonna have to like start back up on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know how everybody starts up their like diets on Monday. Which, by the way, going back to what I was trying to say earlier about I'm not dead yet, is the Sandy Hook aspect that came through, that I just want you to know that I don't know if, since we're talking about Saturnian energies as well there, if they are, if they've come into their own peace, maybe they've reached a cycle, like their souls have reached a cycle. I don't know what's going on with that, but basically I just wanted to say shalom and aloha both mean peace and love. So you have to like just be able to basically, also it means hi, in both in both language, in both, yeah, languages, yeah, um in both cultures. So the whole thing is, it's like the spirit of aloha is coming on, spirit of shalom is coming in, which is basically more peace than anything, but it's a high. So basically, I'm going to say it's a high from heaven, having to do with a lot of Sandy Hook victims and survivors. Survivors came through a lot. And, uh, and, and basically, um, like they are still they because they're kids, they're probably in their love where they still are super alive because their love is alive. Like they're, it's like pure love out of children usually, you know what I'm saying? And I say usually because I've seen some children that you're just like, what the fuck? um but it's usually, if you're a child, you're still in your pure love. And you know and that's where that card goes to show you they're not dead yet. They're still, they're meaning not dead yet. Like, that sounded crazy. um they're not dead yet, meaning, I think that's what the card said. The mediumship card says, I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead. I'm not dead yet. I don't know, something like that. I think it was the yet after that, to where their souls might have been lightened up, a whole lot too, in regards to like understanding what the fuck went on in spiritual truth. And spiritual truth came in very strong there too. So yeah, so with that being said, be and maybe this is a message through, the mediumship of them, watch your tone, because you don't know when another person is going to literally not be able to handle all that's coming at them. And sometimes there's a lot coming at just one human being. And we all have different sensitivity levels, but at the bottom line, we're all super sensitive. I don't care what anybody else says or thinks they know or whatever. I know for a fact, and I know universally, we're all super sensitive as human beings. So we need to literally calm ourselves down before we communicate, and think about what we're saying before we say it. There is that saying, that is true. Think about what you are saying before you say it, and it's super true, and it's super needing to be applied to these in these moments in time, I feel, because of the fact that, again, you don't know if somebody's going to backlash at you, which is me, not taking any shit, one on one. But also, you don't know if what you said is not uplifting enough, or doesn't have just like a truthful tone to it, to where a person might just like fucking walk away and do something either to themselves or somebody else drastically. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is also, by the way, talking truth. I know that I am full on protected, and I am in full on self control when I speak out loud to somebody with a comeback. I don't get that super wild. You know what I'm saying? I get very, what's it called? Very spitfired and aimed and intentional. Like aimed fire, like what is that called when you're like dealing with a gun? It's like da da da, aim fire. I forgot the first word. So that's me when I'm fucking talking. Um so for me, I know that I'm doing the talking in a very self-controlled way, and a respectful manner, to where it's like I'm respectfully like gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like it's gonna hurt, but it's a respectful, which is even more of a hurt, because you're like, oh shit, like how the fuck did that whiplash fucking happen, because it hurt. But like I know that I can sense the truth in that, so it won't go toss somebody over the fucking edge. Do you get what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, it's a very fine line when you're communicating with somebody. That's why you always have to communicate from the heart, and being vulnerable, like going deep into your heart, talking like that is so much better than coming from like an above route or like, you know, around route, like, oh, let's beat around the bush. Like, fuck that shit, dude. You go deep and you fucking talk to somebody. That's like a serious connection that no one can fuck with. They can't go turn around and fucking whiplash somebody else with hurt isms, because the truth semi fucking healed them. Do you get what I'm saying? Um, like when I was talking about the truth before in terms of how I deliver it. So the whole thing is, it's like a tone is a delivery service. So don't fuck with the delivery. I was watching the Golden Hour podcast, and they had one of the best segments on like you know, the delivery services, like the what the fuck you go through and how people act with the whole delivery DoorDash and shit like that. And I was laughing so hard because there's so much truth to it. But it makes so much sense, because if we can't fucking deliver just simple fucking messages, dude, like just by being ourselves, like it's already too hard of a job to be in a delivery service position and trying to fucking figure out like newness all the time, which is like new addresses, driving, fucking making sure that they didn't mention this, by the way, but like I want to mention this, is that there's like not a lot of fucking delivery drivers that will make sure that, okay, if you're gonna eat this fucking food right now, what do you need? Do you need utensils? Do you need a fucking napkin? Like, everybody universally needs the same shit. What is the fucking big deal? I've had so many deliveries happen without any utensils, without a straw, without a fucking like napkin. It's like, how the fuck do you do that? You just like you grab and go, like that's it. Like you don't stop to like fucking make sure. Like, why do I have to leave that in the fucking notes either? You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure everybody, and that's for the Door Dashers out there, make sure that everybody has fucking napkins, a utensil, some fucking sauces, because sauces are legit, and and what else do you need? I don't fucking know. And a straw. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how hard is it? You know? And also, if they don't have that fulfilled over there, you ask for it. You turn around, you fucking ask for it, because if it was you would want your fucking orders to be spot on. Don't give anybody that shit that's like, oh, I didn't know where you were. I didn't, like, you know, deliver it cold and shit like that. Like take the fucking time. Actually, I'm gonna just say it this way. Talking about delivering it cold. Take the fucking time, grab the utensils. Doesn't matter if it fucking comes cold. Bring your fucking order complete. You know what I'm saying? Double check that fucking order. Like, double check. Like, what's it? What did they get? Let me just double check that order. You know what I'm saying? Then grab the utensils, and or vice versa. While you're standing there waiting for the order, grab the fucking all of those things. Like, what is the fucking big deal? Then, I mean, I'm not even gonna start talking about the people that fucking eat the fucking order and shit. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so fucking crazy. Like, that's some other fucking crazy ass level of a human being. That's of a person that I would never even want to fucking deal with. Not ever. Like, you ask me for help and I find out that you're that type of way, get the fuck out of here. Very far. That's all. That's how fucking sad that shit is that you can't fucking you can't have enough self-control and and self-respect and respect for another person to leave their fucking order alone when you know they paid for that shit. That's crazy. That's so crazy. So, long story short, what I wanted to say here is, yeah, Golden Hour had a really good segment on that. I was laughing so super hard. I'm sure everybody else was too. And literally, yeah. So I think that is, yeah, it's just fucking, it's just so fucking nuts. This life is so crazy, dude. This life is so crazy. But let me just tell you something. Bye-bye when it comes to both, you know, arrivederci, aloha, motherfucking shalom, all of that shit. Yo, bye-bye to that type of like living where I found everything to be so dramatically sad, to now I feel like, again, with the Saturn coming back around, it's like one of my royal rewards in dealing with so much shit for the past couple of years is basically, oh my god, look at the infinity. Oh my god, that's crazy. Um, it's infinity, but also I was thinking DNA and soulmate in that scenario, so that's beautiful. But and thank you, spirit, thank you for the signs like that. But signs and designs, baby, design and signs, right? Because that's what they do. It's like a designed sign is what I'm trying to say, because that's what they did right there. But long story short, you know, I just feel like bye-bye to, you know, like piecing out of like such, you know, being dragged, dude, being dragged in like this life is so fucking heavy. You know what I'm saying? To now, I'm like, no, no, no. I grab the fucking reins. Like, I actually can control the shit in terms of like, of course, I'm about the serenity aspect of life. Like, what I can't control, don't even fucking come near me, or I won't even go near it. But the whole thing is, when it comes down to me having the perspective on life that I get to control. And I really like the energy that came through very recently, I guess, with the new year and things like that, is for me to, or for me, or people like me, and or Capricorns in general, is that we get to fucking enjoy this life in such a comedic like way, where it's like, and by comedic I mean like we get to participate, dude. We get to like be the leader that now participates in a comedic like way, where it's like, even if no one knows that you're a Capricorn, like the backlash that they're gonna fucking get out of you if they come at you in a wrong tone. Like, we have so much training under our belts now that like we're gonna spitfire such truth to where you're gonna be so embarrassed that you fucking said that shit to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just because we get to fucking enjoy ourselves, enjoy our life, fucking be at peace, like just really kind of, you know, just take it all in, but also exhale it all out if we need to. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful life from now on, you know? Amen. And like I said, easy, leveraged, and hey, what's going on? Easy, leveraged, and what's the last word? Smart. You know, we get to live that type of life. Like, easy, leverage, and smart, the Capricorns now. And also laughing until no end. Like, you can make fun of us, you can do whatever you want. Like, we own our shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're going to be doing in this season. It's the best thing to do, is to own your shit. And once you owned it, you can literally start making fun of others who come at you with a certain tone, that think that they have something over you, like, oh, I'm smarter than you, and oh, I'm so like more intelligent than you are. It's like, bitch, I already know I'm stupid in certain things. Like, no one's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the whole thing is, it's like you're being more stupid than me by trying to fucking over gauge the situation in regards to like putting me down to make yourself feel better, when we already know that that's a stupid fucking route to take anyway. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, just don't do that shit. Like, don't and so yeah, so that's basically what's coming up in regards to, you know. And also fix your fucking tone, dude. Fix your fucking tone, because I think tone actually can be worse than the fucking message sometimes. Like, depending on like if a person knows to like listen to the tone, and not, because not everybody was taught that, right? Listen to the message instead of the tone. Bitch, not everybody is taught that. Like, I was taught that like later on in life, like just like maybe 5 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty recent, you know? So the whole thing is, it's like, you like, not everybody is taught that. And not everybody hangs on to that. Like, I hung on because I'm like, okay, that makes it, in a weird way, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? In a more beneficial way, it makes sense. So I'm gonna do that. But at the same time, like, again, there's so many people out there that don't know that have not what's it called, like learned that or hung on to that, or also completely need to be reminded of that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So this is your learn, your reminder, your application, all of that towards a person that thinks that they can like in one way or another overpower you, but like also say sayonara, bitches, to the aspect of you cannot actually do that to me any longer. I won't allow it. And you have to figure out a different way of communicating before I bust another cap in your fucking ass that you'd be really super embarrassed about. You know what I'm saying? Like, bust another truth cap up in your ass. Like, so it's crazy. It's crazy to talk in such an egotistical manner towards another fellow human being when really you are so more than welcome to just come at a person just like fucking calmly and like detached, like, you know what I'm saying? But again, the only way that you could do that is through meditation. And when somebody, and that's the craziest thing, like I had a scenario recently where I was just literally, I had no emotion behind it, and I was just like talking, like I was like, no, don't fucking talk to me like that. How about that? Like, just so, it's so crazy. Like, to me, in my mind, I was like, that's so crazy because I came from like, like, I guess, like, on the in between, I came from like a passion, like, don't talk to me like that. And I'd be like, now it's just stupid. Now it's like, please don't. Like, I've been through that shit. Like, it's like, come on, like, you gotta evolve. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I'm not deserving of that. You even know that I'm not deserving of that. That was a confirmation of such thunder. And the whole thing is, it's like, let's not do that. How about that? Like, I'm completely uninterested when it fucking, and that's like the perfect word to describe it, is like completely uninterested in people, in like having to like teach somebody that shit, but also having to like really kind of even engage with people like that anymore. Same, you know what I'm saying? So again, aloha, shalom, sayonara. Sayonara actually means bye, but I'm adding that sayonara in there because instead of hi, instead of both those, aloha and shalom saying hi, I'm saying a bye-bye to that. You have to put an ending to it. Sometimes, and a lot of times, but when people are all gonna be like, when people sometimes think that, oh, you're gonna just be an aloha and shalom, like high vibe person, like in your kindness, even if they have a lot of stupid shit to say at you, like, get the hell out of here. Like, that's crazy, a lot of people are timid, you know what I'm saying? But you're even crazier for thinking that you can fucking come at a person using their timidity, however you put that, against them. Like, that's even crazier to me. You know what I'm saying? That's like that negative batshit crazy. Like, that in general people won't say anything, so you're gonna like now try to be like the person that speaks up in a negative way, like, and then try to have the upper hand at the same time. Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. That's a loser type of mentality. Complete loser. Like, energetic and physical, both. You're talking about spiritual and material, both. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. So I'm sending you guys a lot of love in all the areas that you need it, in the healing that you need it in. There's a lot of, like, in my vicinity, there's a rainbow, there's aloha, there's love, there's laughter going on. Also a lot of protection, a lot of seeing energy, like being able to see with your third eye, but also seeing you, um, acknowledging you. When I say seeing you, acknowledgement, and also something along the lines of, like the heritage that you come from, like the acknowledge, like maybe that's what you need to do. You have to acknowledge your last name, the heritage that you come from, and how it has affected you in order to heal yourself infinity wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, from now until the end of time and beyond it, as I like to say. So the whole thing is, I think that's maybe something that also might help heal you for the long run, in regards to just like, energetically, spiritually, materialistically, and foundationally. So and I don't know what I mean by that, but I want that to be a meaning for you, yourself, and you. I'm just thinking, like, maybe. I mean, I don't actually want to even put any thought to that. That was just a message. I'm gonna just deliver it. So, um, yeah, like for instance, like I feel like your last name has a foundation to to how you operate. Like maybe your ancestors are like backing you up on how you operate, or they're if you're like not operating from an integrity type of way. Thank you, that's confirmation. If you're not operating from an integrity type of way, there is an infinity of an energy from your ancestors that are helping you today. And by the way, makes so much sense. Today is Tuesday, which I labeled um as a feng shui day of the first half of the day is wealth, power, and empowerment. And the second half of the day, which we are now in Eastern Standard Time wise, is ancestors, angels, and family. Isn't that crazy? So that makes a lot of sense that they're helping you to adjust your mannerisms, your tone, the way that you speak, the way that you communicate, like your frustrations, your anger, whatever's like riling up within you, they're sending some sort of healing. And I think that's really coming through really strongly, because also you might even feel like a little like under the weather as you're going through these changes. So just be sure to like, tune in with yourself. If you should, like, I'm going to say just refrain from taking any and all meds, but again, I'm not a doctor or a lawyer or any of that stuff. So the whole thing is, just be able, if you're about to take some sort of meds or something, just tune in with yourself if you actually really need it, because sometimes things are more spiritual than they are. Things are more spiritual even if they come through like actual, you know what I'm saying, like materialistically. Like, when you get a headache, there's different headaches that mean different things. Some mean you need to drink water physically, you don't need medication for it. Some are like tension headaches to where you have to go do something like YouTube, like what you would do naturally for a tension headache to release it. There's different ways of treating things without actually taking medicine for them immediately. But also, again, use your fucking discernment, which is your intelligence of where like you are actually choosing to see the truth of the matter, rather than you know rather than like sticking with the suffering of sorts, if that's where you're at, you know what I'm saying. um so because I'm a person people don't know, but like I'm a person, like I'm about the natural energetic life of like as a foundation. But like, bitch, I take Dayquil and NyQuil. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I want like myself back to tip top condition immediately, ASAP. And because my health is so important to me when I'm like feeling a little down. So, and thank God that it's not. Thank God that thank you God that it's not often at all. But at the same time, when it hits you like like stronger than usual, you might want to take a medicine. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm both. But I'm also discerning on whether am I taking too much of this shit, am I, like, you have to be balanced. And the moon is in Sagittarius, of which you're gonna have to figure out what your balance is. I'm gonna get going now. Bye guys, talk to you later.